At this time, I would like to ask Councilman Heaton to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought and speech. Impart your wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. And thank you for being our source of guidance tonight. Amen.
Roll call. Heaton.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Meadows. Here. Beach. Hurt.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Ehlers.
Here.
Hearing of citizens' comments. At this time, if you have any comments you would like to make, I ask that you approach the podium. You have 5 minutes. I ask that you sign in your name and ward number for the record.
Joan Reed, Ward 1. We've made a lot of progress with Pickup Boonville with our streets and our parks, and now it's time to clean our riverbanks. We're fortunate Missouri River Relief is literally floating into town to help us accomplish that. You've probably seen our posters around town, our beautiful posters. Since 2001, Missouri River Relief has hosted 116 cleanup events. Over almost 120,000 volunteers have cleaned up 756 tons of trash from the river. Think about that, at 2,000 pounds a ton, that's over 1.5 million pounds. And given our location on the river, most of that was headed our way. This year alone, their cleanup efforts have grabbed over 6 tons of river trash. They don't just pick up trash, they also promote river education. They've had over 300 outreach programs, and they're having several of those programs with our youth this month. So they have an ambitious project in the works. The Big Muddy Clean Sweep 2004 begins in Brunswick this Saturday. They think the water will be down enough to start it. It's a 2-month continuous barge pickup. So they'll come on down the river September 20th. They'll be here. Basically what happens, it helps for people sign up ahead of time at riverrelief.org. You show up around 8:30 that morning at the Franklin Conservation Area off of Highway 40. About 8:30, they'll hop you on a boat with other people, take you where they have found accumulation of trash along the river, pick up about an hour or two, hour and a half, and they bring you back. You'll get a free t-shirt. This is a nice one I snagged at Harrisburg. Clean up. And a free lunch. And a free ride on the river. So then afterwards, the Boonville River Festival will occur at the Isle Capri parking lot. Everybody's welcome. There'll be a little bit of overlap. It'll be from 11 till 6 o'clock. And there the people will get a free lunch. And one of the real fun activities is going to be a trash contest. It'll be treasures that are found that morning on the river. And it's a very fun activity. You'll be surprised what will be found that morning. We'll have a large kids craft and activities booth. The Turner Hall River Rats for the Arts and CCBC are working together to bring some really unique environmental fun activities for the kids. There will be a Missouri River-inspired local youth art display, including several sculptures made out of trash. We'll have an incredible musical lineup, and there'll be over 20 educational booths, many from out of town. There'll be a lot of amazing exhibits, information there. The rehabilitation raptors will be there, among other things. And there'll be a few farmers market booths. We want to thank our many sponsors. I can't list them all. The community's really rallied behind the event. But to be in the 1,000 plus category, that includes Missouri River Relief, Isla Capri, KWRT, Boonville Daily News, Boonville Tourism, National Park Service, Missouri Arts Council, and Walmart.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joan.
You're welcome.
Another good project you're involved with.
That's a house here. I got everybody's email already. There's some information.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other citizens who would like to make a comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll move along to approval of the minutes of the August 18th, 2014 council meeting. You had those in your packet over the weekend, so you've had time to read those. Are there any additions or corrections? Seeing and hearing none, they will stand as presented. Consent items, we have none this evening. Presentation of accounts and claims. Mary, when you're ready.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying the salaries on various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the Council at the regular meeting thereof on September 2nd, 2014, the sum of $754,541.16. General Fund, $236,708.56. Sanitation, $17,374.18. CIP tax, $4,522.18. Waterworks, $118,214.44. Capital projects, $221,681.21. Wastewater, $54,372.78. Tourism, $18,083.62. Gaming, $83,584.19. Parks Water, 0. Section 2, the bookkeeper is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $754,541.16, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on September 2nd, 2014, read for the second time the second day of September 2014, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Morris,
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
we hear a second? Becky? Thank you. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ehlers.
Yes. Unfinished business, we have none this evening. New business, new tourism director Katie Gibson's with us this evening. So Katie, if you would please come up. Tell us all about yourself.
So excited to be here. I'm going to give myself some notes to make sure I cover everything and I don't ramble on. I'm very honored and excited to be your new tourism director and to represent Boonville. My background, I am from Washington State originally, and my husband was in the Navy. He's a Boonville native, and so he kind of brought me into Boonville. We've been here for 8 years now. We have 3 children together. I have one in David Barton, one in Hannah Cole, and one at School of Hard Knocks with Nana at home. Hospitality has been in my blood. My parents have started 3 bed and breakfasts from scratch, starting remodeling old historic homes and bringing them into thriving businesses and moving on. We've kind of moved all over the place, and started many projects. So it's kind of been something that's been instilled in me from the get-go. So I have, from the point that I married my husband, he was in the Navy for 10 years. So I've got to travel all over the United States. We were stationed in Naples, Italy for 3.5 years, so I got to travel all over Europe as well. So it's kind of given me a chance to be a tourist on the other end and experience a lot of different cultures in a lot of different areas. So I'm excited to come back to Boonville and try to help bring Boonville into the next forward, into our next point of making Boonville more of a tourist destination and bringing more people in. I worked for the Isle for the past 8 years, and for the last 5 as the banquet manager. It's given me many experiences in sales, retail, hospitality, marketing, food and beverage, event planning, design, and customer service. Dealt with large budgets before as well, so I feel like I'm very ready to take on this new exciting trip into my next part of this career and for Boonville. So some of the things I'd like to do with Boonville Tourism, we want to work on updating our website, working on an e-newsletter so we can get some more information out locally, as well as for tourists that come in, expanding our Facebook page and our followers, tracking our visitors that come into the town and come into our visitor center better. And I also want to just work on expanding the events that we have here, the festivals and the wonderful retail business that we have here, and try to make this more of a great destination that we already have here, and just make it even better and get the word out more, so make it better. So
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Katie. Anybody have any questions for Katie or comments? Welcome. Yeah.
thank you.
The one thing we do need to do is, Katie was on the Tourism Commission, so they now have a vacancy on the Tourism Commission, and I did place a paper at your spot this evening. The Tourism Commission would like to have us consider Leah Yonkers for that position. She has been with the Isle of Capri for 7 years and is a native of the area. And you'll see in the note, but I think the Isle was very desirous of continuing to have someone on the Tourism Commission. So I think it is a very good thing. So with that, I would like to have someone make a nomination to accept Leah Yonkers.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Questions or comments? Yes.
Yeah, I agree with the Isles want there. I think that's very
Yes.
important to have them part of it, so
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice.
Okay. Very good. Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Katie. Item B, consider purchase of material and labor for wastewater treatment plant digester aeration piping rebuild. ML, you want to tell us all about that?
If you remember from your tours, the digester is that last basin, about 600,000 gallon sized basin where we have accumulated all the sludge, and then we continue with some aerobic digestion in there. We decant the water and then pull that sludge into the building for the belt filter presses. The digester is aerated by a large manifold, if you will, of pipe that ranges in diameter from 10 inches near the edge and close to the air compressors out to the far ends of the individual legs of the manifold down to around 4 inches. When the plant was built in 1998, that piping was PVC. It was glued joint PVC pipe. And that worked for 1998 until early 2012. Twice a year we take down the digester, if you will. We drain it, we hose it down, and then go down in there and inspect that piping. So that piping worked for a number of years. In 2012, we noticed that a number of the joints were pulling apart, and several pieces of the PVC were splitting. There were longitudinal splits in that PVC piping. So we set about in mid-2012 through the winter in replacing that piping. We did it on a case-by-case basis. We'd fill up the digester and then operate it for a while, and then we could suspect there was additional problems because of the, you'd see bubbles, frankly, in places that you didn't normally see bubbles, and you could tell by the loading on the air compressor that there were some problems. Drain it down and find some more. We struggled for another couple months with different kinds of repairs. We used different glues. We used what's called restrained joints. Miko Engineering, HD Supply helped us with those, where we had glued the pipe back together and then we restrained each joint with a pipe clamp around either side of the joint, and then there would be four pieces of all thread or rod where we would restrain that joint hooked to the other side of the pipe. That didn't work either. We started seeing where we were torquing the brackets. This whole thing is held on, and we were just moving these longitudinal cracks in the PVC pipe further down the pipe. So we dropped back and we sat down with EDI, who was the manufacturer and the subcontractor who installed the original aeration system in 1997, 98 when the plant was constructed. And we told them that we went completely away from PVC pipe. We had researched stainless steel pipe with HD Supply and discovered that we could get the stainless steel in the sizes we needed, the diminishing sizes we needed, and we were particularly interested in doing joints, and the PVC pipe came with flange joints. So we actually will have, rather than glued and a restraint, we'll have a flange and then bolts through that flange holding that PVC, or not PVC, that stainless steel pipe together. We look to, by going to stainless steel, to solve this longitudinal cracking problem, and then whatever was causing the problem with the joints over the years. We've also modified how the air compressor works. We've diminished the the air hammer on that piping, and that I think has made a little bit of a help towards this. It's important, we feel, to go with EDI, quite frankly, because we've had to do so much in the field kind of engineering. There was going to be modifications with this that it was difficult for us to try to spec or hold a contractor to a set plan in replacing this piping. And that's the reason we've got a sole source basically with the manufacturer. Now, why wasn't the pipe originally stainless steel in 1998? I can't say for sure, but I do know that towards the end of that design process, our predecessors were struggling to keep that plant down around $6 million. And I'm sure that stainless steel pipe was a concern. They went with PVC. It worked fine, 1998 to 2012. That was, frankly, a gamble they took in 1994, 95 when we were designing that plant. We now know better. If we're going to do it for our next plant, and we build one in the 2020s, we may not have PVC piping in our digester aeration system.
Okay. So your recommendation is the proposal of EDI for $45,762.
That's correct.
Okay. Morris?
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Don't matter.
Noah?
Yeah,
I'll look this way next time.
Give it to Noah.
Okay. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes. Okay, reports of standing committees. Thank you, ML. Reports of standing committees, Boonville Housing Authority. Ned is not here, but the minutes are in the packet, and I'm assuming everyone had time to look over those. Parks Board, Steve.
I was unable to make the meeting, but the minutes are here in your stuff.
Okay. Reports of city officials, city administrator, Earl.
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Mayor, I do have one thing. I'm sure everyone's aware that we are very fortunate to have 2 original Bingham portraits hanging in City Hall. And they have been there for 2 years, thanks to the generosity of Charlie Leonard and his trust. We had a 2-year contract with him to have those in place. We insure them and take care of them, that sort of thing. That contract expired, or was about to expire recently, and we contacted Mr. Leonard again about that, and he has graciously extended that contract another 2 years. So if you have an opportunity to thank Charlie Leonard and his trustees, be sure and do that, because that's a very generous. I know we have people that just go to City Hall for nothing other than to look at the portraits, so it's a very nice thing for us to have in our lobby. City Councilor, Megan?
I have nothing this evening.
Economic Developer, Mr. Gann, or Dr. Gann.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I provided for you this evening a packet, and I'll certainly respond to any questions you might have, but I'll just touch on a few things. First of all, I'd like to draw your attention to item number 1C. As I reported last month, we are actively trying to market the bakery property. I've mailed 110 letters to bakers that would not appear to be in direct competition with the property owner. Thus far, I've received 5 responses, not responses in the sense that they want to come buy a bakery, but responses that were sympathetic to what we had to offer and a pledge that they would circulate that information amongst their own supplier circles. And so those responses are from the likes of Schnucks Markets, Frito-Lay, which was the most recent one, Campbell's. So it's those kinds of companies that are now aware that we have a useful bakery in town. So I wanted to make you aware of that. Attached, item 3B is I provided for you a Institute policy brief. It's a little bit dated, but I thought you might be interested in seeing what some small towns are doing in economic development that are helping them think that, and they're doing that differently. I just provided that really for your information. Item 4C, you may have seen a story about Garrett Fuller in the Boonville Daily News. And Garrett is a young man that I've been working with, and that supports this tenet of supporting the entrepreneurial environment. Garrett is a young man that is a high school sophomore that is doing website design. So anyway, it was a very well done article, and I just wanted you to be aware of that. The next thing I'll address is item 8C, which is the revolving loan fund. The Municipal Facilities Authority continues to work on the revolving loan fund program, and it is a little bit of the case of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. We thought we were ready to fully deploy the documents to govern the program, and then we asked ourselves what information of the applicant would be exposed because this is a public body. We've worked both with Megan and Wendy Wooldridge to discuss a way that the public body could operate in a transparent manner and yet fully protect the private information of the applicants, and we've found a way to do that. So I look for those documents, that program to become more active, or at least be available in the near future. It's been a little time getting there, but I think we're making good progress. The last thing that I'd like to discuss until you have questions is item 8A, which is really this question about strategic planning. I've been challenging the IDA on how we are strategic in how we apply ourselves moving forward, and that's one of the charges that you gave to me regarding this position and working with the IDA. We are now having very mind-opening discussions about what is the future direction, how are we going to get there, and what strategies are we going to use. And our intent is to create a document that will not only inform you about what we believe, we meaning the IDA, what the IDA believes your direction should be, but also try and put some signposts along the road of how we know we're successful and when we're not. So that's going to take some time to work through, but the IDA was very receptive to starting down this path. And many stayed late after the meeting to continue the discussion earlier this month, or actually last month. So barring any questions, that's all I really wanted to highlight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Jim. City Clerk, Mary, do you have anything this evening?
I have nothing to report.
Miscellaneous? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.